Hey folks, Sivak here. I know it's been a while, but I've decided to go ahead and post some answers to questions I received about the game. Some of these were from other websites, but I do have a fair amount to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first question. When will it be released? Hopefully in the near future, that's all I can say. The main thing I'm waiting for at this point is the actual artwork for the label. Everything else is 100% finished though. I also had a personal prototype made of the game, and it works perfectly on the real system, so that's definitely a good thing. But without the artwork for the standard release, all I can do is wait. Alright, next question. Will it be a totally new carts or a recycled reproduction? Absolutely 100% new carts. New circuit board, EEPROMs, cart shell, everything. That's how all the games that I and other authors do things at RetroUSB.com. And the card itself will be a transparent green color. Okay, next question. How much will the game cost, and will it come with a box or instructions? Price-wise, I'm thinking around $30 or so at this point. I am writing a manual for it, but as far as actual boxes go, probably not. Boxes tend to be cost prohibitive, and while neat collector's items, not necessarily vital in my opinion. So, sorry if that disappoints. Okay, moving on. Will it work on a PAL system? Yes, it will. The one thing you need to be aware of, though, is that a PAL system runs at a slower clock speed than an NTSC system, specifically 5/6 the speed, so it will be a slower playing game, so just be aware of that. Alright, in terms of individual screens, how large will it be? Well, there are two main maps. You got the large fortress area, which consists of around 450 rooms, and the final area, which is around 100 rooms or so. So in total, there are just over 550 rooms. Will there be more enemy types than what we're seeing in the demo? Absolutely. In total, there are around 30 different types of enemies encountered in the game, as well as a total of 8 bosses, so plenty of things for you to fight. Alright, next question. How long will this game be to play through on the first try? Well, that's hard to say for a first-timer. I myself have done many runs, and I'd say my average time to complete the game is around 80 to 90 minutes. Granted, I know where to go and what exactly to do, so it all depends really on how good you are. If players get stuck anywhere, there's a terminal at the beginning of the game which you can access, which will give you clues on where to go, although getting lost is not really... it's really tough to get lost in the game, so... I don't really have a good answer for the, first timer, but as I said, for me it takes around, 90 minutes or so. Alright, next question. Are there any perks for replayability? Well, there are higher difficulty settings where you get a finite amount of continues. You have to beat the game in one session too. If you can successfully clear those, you get passwords, which give you extra features. One such feature, which I had planned from the beginning, was a boss rush, and I'm going to actually show you a little clip of that here. So yet another sneak peek. After you put in the password, the game just starts immediately, and you're going up against all 8 of the game's bosses. The objective is to beat it in as fast a time as possible. You can die, but any time you spent on the boss will not be given back, and you'll start right outside the room again. You don't have any of your inventory. You get that along the way after you beat the appropriate boss. But you can see the revised first boss here. He just went down, but he has a bigger hitbox and fewer hit points, and there you can see you just got an item, you teleport, and then you go to the next room. But I'm not going to be showing you the second boss, because if you want it, you got to get the game. But anyway, the boss rush is just one of the extras you can get if you can beat the game on a higher difficulty. What assembler and software was used? Well, the assembler is simply called the Nintendo Assembler, or NES ASM. As far as software goes, I used Notepad++ for writing the code. I even made a custom syntax highlighter for it, so code readability is easier. I used YYCHR to do all the tile editing, and I primarily used FCE Ultra X for playtesting, which is my favorite emulator, although I did test it on a few other emulators like Nintendulator just to be certain on the accuracy of things. Who wrote the music? Well, that would be me. This kind of ties into the previous question. Another program I used was FamiTracker. I used this program to write most of the music and have the ability to preview it in real time. After I was satisfied with the song, I would then port it into the game's music engine and just go from there. What are the game Genie codes? These are non-existent. I have no idea how to make such codes. Okay, this last question is one that I know that a lot of people are interested about. Is there going to be a ROM release, or will there only be a hard copy? Well, for the ROM release, not immediately, and I'll tell you why. The guy who makes the carts has anyone he makes them for enter into a contract. And part of this contract states that the author will not put out any ROM images of the product in question while it is in development. I know that a lot of people out there might be willing to pay for the ROM, but for now I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Okay folks, that's it for the Q&A session. I hope you enjoyed this. Next thing I'm hoping to do is to put out a trailer with an actual release date for you, so stay tuned for that. Till then, see ya.